Hello everybody, welcome to Nice Beer Reviews. Thanks for joining me. Today is brew day. Today I am brewing a Imperial Plum Porter. That's what it's going to start out to be anyway. I hope to get somewhere like 8.5–9%, something like that. I do a stout, a Christmassy stout or a Christmassy porter every year. I've done for last year and this year. So yeah, hopefully the guys at work will be more than happy. I think that I'm doing another brew because they want some more free beers. So let's have it. So that's where I normally turn it around. So that's where I normally sit and do reviews. If I swing it round, this is my little brewing area. So here I've just got a little like a electric mash bin here. So that's starting to got a bag in there already, so everything's going to get brewed in the bag. So that's starting to come up to temperature. I want to bring that up to about 65 degrees, maybe a little bit more, because by the time the grains go in, it's going to come down in temperature. Everything's sanitized, all the equipment I'll need. I've got hot water there for just for general cleaning, really. Obviously, when it comes to sparging or getting all the sugars from the grains, I'll need hot water supply. My tap seems to have picked up a little bit of a leak, which I need to fix after today. But yeah, so that's not switched on yet, so that will be switched on soon, and I can get some hot water from that. So I'm just at the moment just waiting for this to come up to temperature, and then we'll get the malts in and we'll start the mash. See you in a bit. So where we are up to, well, I'll tell you about 72. It's about it's about 72, a little bit over 72. So we're going to add the malts. So I've got a mixture of malts. I've got some pale malts, some crystals, some chocolate, there's some oats in here, give a bit of smoothness, some barley, and some torrefied wheat. So the idea, let's get my spoon. So the idea behind all these malts is to give it a beautiful base liquor that you associate with a good stout and porter. That's one bag in. So I've already pre-bought these, got them pre-crushed. So I've got no way of doing it. And in they go. Give them a good whiz round. Now these are gonna, the water temperature should come down to about 65 degrees C. And these are going to stay in here for an hour to steep, to get all that beautiful sugar. Now whilst this is on the boil for an hour, just try and break up all these big bits, make sure I get enough out of there, all the sugars out of there. Yeah, so I'll carry on doing this. Once it's come up to, once I'm happy this is mixed in, I've got 2 kilograms of plums. So what I'm going to do with those plums, I didn't know what to do with them. So on the plum side, I have seen recipes where people have just cut them up and put them in, but they're saying that they don't get enough flavour out of the plums. So I'm going to boil them, I'm going to reduce them down, really pulp them up, get them to a nice liquefied state. And hopefully from that we'll get a lot more flavour out of the plums. I don't want too much plummy flavour. I just want, when you drink it, I just want whoever drinks this to kind of get the impression that there is that little bit of a plummy, fruity, dark fruit note coming from them. So yeah, I'm happy with the way that's mixed. Right down at the bottom it seems pretty well mixed up. I'll lump there, saying that. Right. So I'll just finish it there, take the temperature, then I'll get working on the plum mixture, and I'll also get working on, well, I'll bring the strike water up to temperature. See you in a bit. And everybody, right, we're heading now to the bit that I really hate doing the most when it comes to homebrew. This has been boiling away, mashing away, there you go. Now I need to get that bag out of there. I need to do two things. One, I do need to get that bag out of there, and when taking that bag out there that contains all the grains, one thing you'll be left with, one thing you'll find out as a home brewer, is those grains still contain a lot of cracking sugars that we need to turn it into alcohol. So we need to get those sugars out of there. So we do something called sparging, which is basically running very hot water through the grains, through the bag, and that all then lands back in the bin. So we end up with good liquor in there. Plus the sparging process just allows us to get this back up to, because a lot of the liquid is boiled off. I think I need to put about 12 litres in, which will bring it up to a decent amount, which will then allow us to start the boil process. So I'm going to switch this off now, and I'm going to set up my Heath Robinson sparging process, which you'll see in a second. So here we go. Now I honestly don't know why I do it this way. There's 100 ways of doing this even better. So this is the bag of grain. It weighs an absolute ton, it really does. And I just set it up on this little bungee system, so it's out of the main liquor. It's actually dripping through at the moment, and I just need to run some extra water through it. But as you can see, it ends up a little bit messy. Like I say, there's lots of different ways of doing this, which is far better ways of doing it than this, but for some reason, last couple of times I've done it this way, I could easily get a basket and a for inside here, which lifts up, twists and holds it in place and holds it up, and it's much easier than doing it this way. So yeah, I think next time I'm going to do it the easier way, but this is my third way of doing it this way. At the moment it works for me, so yeah, let's get sparging. So basically all I'm going to do with sparging is just run some very hot water through this bag. That's going to release a lot of the sugars into the bin. So when we come to boil, we have all the goodness in there rather than still in the bag. So this takes a little while, so stick with me. It should take about 12 litres to get this done. So this is 4 litres. There. Right, I won't let you watch all of it. We'll see you when it's ready. Right, so sparge is done. I did have a little problem in that my bag burst, so a little bit of grain has been left in there. I don't think I'm too bothered about it, if I'm being honest. It's time for the hops. So yeah, time for hops. So for bittering purposes and a nice smooth porter, I am adding some Magnum hops. So get them in there, let me give that a stir. They're going to be in there for 60 minutes, they're going to impart a nice bitterness to this porter. Hopefully help ensure a nice smooth flavour and just bring forward just a little bit of fruitiness to it. In 50 minutes I'll have my East Kent Goldings. So I've got a nice boil going, and it's the last, a lot of steam, and it's the last 10 minutes of the, lots of steam. It's the last 10 minutes of the boil, so in goes my next lot of hops, turn it round. So in here I've got 40 grams of East Kent Goldings as pellets, and I've also got 40 grams of my own First Gold that are frozen, picked and frozen, and they're in there now. So East Kent Goldings and the First Gold should give it a, it's not in for long, it's mainly for aroma, mainly for a bit of flavour. Hopefully it's going to bring out a little bit of bit of fruitiness. That's the kind of idea. 10 minutes to go, and then we chill this down and get ready for fermentation. See you in a bit. Right, so that's everything added. That's all the hops and everything added to this. We now need to bring it down to a temperature so we can start fermentation, and we need to do that as quickly as possible. This is a bit that I really do hate, because I think I can introduce a lot of contaminants at this point, because the water source to cool this is coming from outside and it's coming down the side of the house, and I really do hate this. So I've got a S4L yeast to put in this for fermentation. So I'm going to bring this down to about 15 to 20 degrees C. Now to do that, I have one of these coils which has got now cold water running all the way through it. So that goes in there, and we should start to see slowly, or hopefully a little bit quicker than slowly, the temperature coming down. So cross fingers that will happen quickly, and I can start fermentation. See you in a bit. Right, slight problem. My little handheld thermometer thingy has given up the ghost and given some really sporadic temperatures. On the side, it's claiming it's about 20 degrees, which is really good. And at the moment, my little digital thing on the wall, it says it's about 20 degrees. So I'm going to accept it's about 20 degrees at the moment. So it's within temperature range of adding the yeast and getting some fermentation going. I've added my plum puree to it, so that's now done. So it's just a case now of, well, I've got a little setup, because I can't, because it isn't an amateur setup here, it's not a professional setup. I do struggle getting some sort of temperature control. So I am going to work on that. I have got a box system that should hold in heat, and it's also I've got a brand new heated belt thing, pad thing. So if it does drop below a particular temperature, then it will keep it hopefully at the right temperature. So let me get that set up, let me add the yeast, and we're almost done. So this is the little setup I've got. It's just insulated foam, hinges on the side, a little lid on the top so I can get into my brew if I want to, and it's all now it's temperature controlled for heat. I don't have a cooling element yet, so that's what I need to do. Since I've put the jacket on, actually it's gone up a little bit in temperature, so I do need that. We're going to have it'll come down in temperature tonight, and hopefully it'll stay at the right temperature. So I'm hoping that it comes down quite quickly. I might just put a little ice pack in there, just bring that down in temperature a little bit more, and then that will start fermenting quite nicely. Right, let's give that a couple of weeks and see what happens. See you all later. And everything, well, the brew's now well and truly on. I did forget to say, I did take a hydrometer reading, obviously just before the yeast went in, to get my original gravity. Based on the original gravity and how much work I expect the yeast to do, this should come out at a 9% ABV. So I said I wanted somewhere between 8.5 and 9, and it looks like it's going to do it. So yeah, pleased with that. The only job I've got left to do with this now is I'm going to soak some chips, some oat chips in some port, get that ready, and then towards the end of fermentation I'll just pop all those chips in there, get a little bit of port flavour from that, and bottle it. But yeah, I'm weeks away, hopefully, cross fingers, hopefully it'll be done in time for Crimbo. That's the idea there. Right, that's it from, that's a busy brew day. That has taken, what time are we on? Let me have a little look, covering up the camera. That's taken about 6 hours, that brew day. So yeah, it's a long process, but it's a satisfying process, really satisfying. I love doing that. So yeah, really pleased with that. So until a beer review, which will be coming out sometime, I can't remember, sometime soon, I hope. Enjoy yourself. Cheers everybody.